Okay, I don't think I'm in danger of getting the sack, but if it were to happen, I think it would probably happen on this episode. We haven't won for 7 games. It's all going a little bit wrong. Fingers crossed I don't get sacked. Hello and welcome to part 7 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we're away against Southport and then at home against some team called Nuneaton in the Conference North. And oh goodness me, since you were last with me, it's all gone so very wrong. I think you were there at the start of this horrific run that we went on. We just lost an awful lot of games in a row. But then, against Kidderminster in the last game, we made a decision. The decision was made in the 69th minute. I took off Craig Westcar, who we've been relying on all season. He's still, according to the star ratings, our best player. He's having the season of his career, 21 goals from 33 starts, but his current form has been a little bit pitiful. I mean, look at the state of that. He had one good game. We even tried changing him to an advanced forward. It looked like it worked, but then it didn't. And I just lost patience with him. Moved James Thorne into the advanced forward role and brought Ben Hurst back into the team, and that led to a Thorne hat-trick and then a very late equaliser from the penalty spot by returning Craig Disley for a 4-4 draw against the Kidderminster team that we were, I think, were we 3-1 down against and then 4-2 down. So signs of a recovery, but still we haven't won for 2 months of football now. And it's all getting a little bit desperate. Any hopes of the playoffs are probably gone at this point. We're 10 points behind Stockport, who are in 7th place. And there's only, 7 games to go. Even if we won every game, I don't think we're making it back up into the playoffs at this point. So we're kind of playing for pride, playing to avoid getting sacked, and trying to put some plans in place for next year. And I've come to the decision that those plans for next year are not going to include Craig Westcar, they're not going to include Craig Disley, they're not going to include Steve Williams. All these guys who are in their 30s, who I had reservations out at the start of the season, they've just run out of gas as this season has gone on, and we're going to bin them off, take the cash from their salaries, and just do it the Kev style. We're going to invest in youth. That's going to be the plan. So this is the team that we're putting out there today. As part of the not using Westcar as a striker anymore, we're sticking him out on the right wing. We're not dropping him completely. We would be if Marcus Marshall was fit, but he's not. So we'll stick Westcar out on the wing. We've got Ryan Jennings there, in fact, Ryan Jennings needs to get onto the bench. Where is he? Why have I got all the under-18s in here? I'm trying to find anyone who can make some kind of change to this team at the moment. We also don't need Tom Allen on there. Let's get Disley on the bench as well. So this is going to be the team that we go for. We are still doing a 4-4-2, but we've tweaked it a little bit again. I'm continuing to tweak it. I've taken off some of the team instructions. We've now just got direct passing and stick to positions on. We've changed the poacher to an advanced forward. We've now got an attacking winger on the left rather than the right, because someone suggested having Thorne, or in fact they need to be the other way around, having Hurst near to the attacking winger might give him someone to play balls through to when he's holding the ball up. It seemed to make logical sense to me. So Westcar is going to be out here as the supporting winger. That might be a bit of a disaster, but we have got Wood behind him, who's now playing as a wing back on support, with Clibbins as a full back on support on the other side. So a few little tweaks as we try and perfect this system, but really, once I've secured a mid-table position, we're going to stop playing Williams and Westcar and Disley and start building for next year. That's the plan at this point. So the team for today's game, we've got Wheeler in goal, a back four of Clibbins, Blumberg, Williams and Wood, with Pritchard, Yao, Platt and Westcar in midfield, and Hurst and Thorne up front. Let's get into the game. Please, can we win a game? Because if we don't win a game for the rest of the season, although my job is secure at the moment, I've got to think if we get to 10 games without a win, then how did the board not move me on? Because I clearly haven't got many ideas, because even every time we try something, and I have tried a few different systems. We tried a 4-5-1, a 4-3-3, a 4-1-4-1. We've tried a few different things. I'm flailing around trying to find anything that looks remotely usable. And it just appears that I have no idea how to get us out of this pickle that we're in. If I was the board, I'd probably sack me at this point. But fingers crossed they have a little bit more faith in me than I do. Hurst is through, but can't get... Oh, but he does. It falls for Hurst. He's got loads of time and scores with 5 minutes on the clock. Ben Hurst had an absolute age to line up that shot. And for once, especially at this level, he did take his time, picked his spot and just hit it really, really hard. I mean, it's hard to miss from an opportunity like this. Look at all the time he's got here. He just lines it up perfectly and thumps it. And, I mean, if he has a good run of games now, there's still a possibility he could finish as our top scorer this year, despite the fact, for certainly since our bad run of form, he's not really been a regular starter. I wonder if Hurst is the key to our success. But he had a little spell out injured. He didn't really get back into the team because I brought Thorne in, and I really like Thorne. But, I don't know, perhaps Hurst and Thorne are the answer. It's 1-1, by the way. For those of you who are just listening on your earphones while you're walking the dog or something, we did just concede a goal. I didn't mention it because I didn't want to acknowledge that it had happened, but it's only fair that we give you that full-on radio experience on the commentary, and Southport have just hit the crossbar as well now. We've still only had one shot in the entire game, and it was handed to us on a plate, so we're not exactly being a free-flowing attacking force at the moment, but Wood finds Yao in the middle of the pitch with, again, plenty of time. They are giving some of our players time on the ball, but we really wasted it there. But for once, Wheeler actually just gets hold of the ball, keeps hold of the ball, and there's not any spectacular mistake from him. That guarantees we're going to get one later in the game. But Hurst is in behind-ish, and he's got the opportunity to cross, but instead plays it back to Pritchard, who does cross. I mean, it was a nuisance of a cross. It wasn't really in the direction of any of our players especially, but it was kind of between the goalkeeper and their defenders, and no one really knew what to do with it. And it did cause a little bit of panic in their defence, but Thorne wasn't really alive to getting on the end of it. And I do just wonder, maybe if Craig Westcar had been up front, would he have tucked that away? That was the kind of poacher's goal that he has been scoring for us earlier in the season before his form just collapsed. Looking at the ratings for today's game, Westcar is on a 6.8. Oh my goodness me. I mean, yeah, let's watch it in the replay thing. Wheeler makes a save, and then it bounces back off our defender and into Wheeler's backside. There's no way to sugarcoat that. It went in off Wheeler's bum, off one of our players, and Owen Wheeler lost possession more than any other player on his team. He's our goalkeeper. I mean, right, everyone's fired up going into this second half. Hooray! At least they're fired up. We're going to lose yet again. We've only had 3 shots in the entire game, but at least they're fired up. I can't believe that we managed to concede a goal like that one. We could have a highlight tape of all of the spectacular mistakes that Wheeler has made this season. Someone asked in the comments yesterday, I think it was, have I tried to sign a replacement for him? Owen Wheeler was the replacement. The goalkeeper we had here before was even worse than he was. He was my solution to the problem I identified when I first arrived. I signed 2 goalkeepers. Right, they've had a player sent off. This is our chance to get back into this game. We're never going to be given a better opportunity to pick up a win again, surely. They're down to 10 men. We've got most of the second half. When teams do this to us, when we get players sent off, teams absolutely destroy us. Hurst misses an absolute sitter. They've gone very narrow in midfield. I wonder if that's our cue to go very wide. But there's always the risk that they then just control the midfield completely then. Whereas at least this way we've got a man over in the middle. Right, we need our wide players to do something. Westcar's taking the corner now because he's really embracing his role as a winger. Wood knocks it down to Yao on the edge of the area. Wood picks it up again. We know he can shoot from here, but we now know he shouldn't shoot from there. We have him hovering on the edge of the area like that for corners because he's got a bit of a thumping shot on him. We've only seen it once all year though, so I wonder if it was just a bit of a fluke the time it happened. And I'm continuing to have him hovering on the edge of the area when he's not actually doing anything effective. Right, Westcar's having a really good game out there. Right, I'm moving him up front. And can Pritchard go to the right wing? He can't. So we'll take him off. We'll put Thorne back to that wing. We're going to bring Ryan Jennings on the right wing. We're going to get Disley on in midfield. If we've got a midfield to control, he's the man who's going to control it for us. I think we can sacrifice having a ball-winning midfielder. I hope we can sacrifice having a ball-winning midfielder because we've got a man over in there. And I'll leave it there. I'm tempted. I don't know whether to bring on Daniels or Pennicat. I'm going to give Hurst another 10 minutes to grab another goal. Otherwise, he's going to come off and Pennickett's going to come on. Otherwise, we'll bring Daniels on the wing. Let's go attacking, maybe. We just don't seem to have any kind of oomph about us at all. Daniels just isn't ever going to be the answer, though, is he? I kind of wish I hadn't brought Jennings on now, because we could perhaps go 4-3-3 and just stick Pennickett up front with the other two. Can Jennings do anything? No, not really. Just bring Daniels on then. I mean, he did score a couple of goals for us early on in the season. We've gone attacking as well, but we've had 2 shots on target in the entire game. They've had 21 shots. It's like the reverse of my second leg against Dr. Benji in the Creators Cup. I now know how Ben feels, except I'm not stealing a win from the opposition. I'm still losing. Ay, ay, ay. We're not very good. We're not very good. Oh. Right. Well, now the universe has an opportunity to really right itself, because we're playing against Nuneaton, the team who, when I announced not only to Legend this year, rightfully won the vote to be the starting team, but then was so awesome they enter save in their own right. I guess it is the universe correcting itself if Nuneaton now beat us and I get sacked from Alfreton. Guess we'll go and try that one then. Okay, this might look like we've just rolled the dice again. There is logic to what we've done here. Jennings is now injured as well, so I was going to move Westcar back up front after what was pretty much a failed experiment of having him out on the right wing, but I don't have any other right midfield players, so to stay in a 4-4-2, I would have had to have kept Westcar on the right-hand side of midfield, and I just thought, you know what, I want to move him back up front. Why don't I just move him back up front and not change anything else about the team? So we're going to a 4-3-3. It does mean that we're just bringing in an extra central midfield player. So Disley makes his return to the team with one of the wingers dropping to the bench. But Thorne stays in the team as an advanced forward. So we've got a front three of Hurst as a target man, Westcar as a poacher, Thorne as an advanced forward. They're all positions these players have performed in for us before. Crossed. Then we've got what looks like a really solid Conference North midfield of Platt as a ball-winning midfielder, Yao on attack, Disley on support. That should control any midfield. I don't understand. There's a little bit of a gap behind Yao, but we've got a more solid fullback on that side, with Owens playing as a fullback, with Wood, the wing-back, on the other side, hopefully running beyond Disley. It all seems to make sense to me, but I am very afraid that it's going to go wrong again. We'll have a player sent off in the first minute or something. Nuneaton playing a 4-5-1 with Chambers on the right hand side of midfield. It's not the sort of thing I'd ever try. Nonsense. Right, hopefully we're not going to get too overwhelmed in midfield with us only having 3 players in there to their 5. But we should get chances at the back with our front 3 against their back 4. Especially looking at some of the players that are making up their back 4. Our front 3 should be better than that back 4. It just depends how solid the middle of their midfield is and whether we can get the ball to our front guys. I mean, it might be a case of we just need to go completely long ball. We're already playing direct. If we're not getting enough time for our 3 strikers, let's just go full on route 1, aim at Hurst, and have Westcar and Thorne running off him either side. It's definitely an option if it looks like things aren't going our way, but we've got to at least finish above Nuneaton this year. Just like back in the borough, we've got to finish above Alfreton. I can't have myself beaten by the computer version of me in each universe. That made sense as I was thinking it. Oh, for goodness sake. That's why you should play Ashley Chambers on the right-hand side of midfield. Oh, he's offside. Good. Good. Oh, it was unusual to see him actually produce a finish, which is why I was so taken aback. In my other series, he doesn't do that often enough. Right, Platt wins the ball back in midfield. Hurst does exactly what he's supposed to do and finds Westcar. Now Thorne's got space on this side. We're stretching their back 4. Thorne crosses. Westcar had all the time in the world and hit it so high and wide, I imagine we needed to go and fetch a new ball. But we've got the ball again. We are putting them under pressure. I like this. Westcar out to Wood. Wood with the cross. Yao is there and hits the crossbar. Westcar. Did he miss again, or was that just a stunning save? It was a stunning save. Okay, I'll let him have that. But, oh, Westcar's had 2 very good chances already. Platt now finds Laird, who needs to get rid of it quick, and finds Yao, who just ran into one of the opposition. But I like it. We're putting the opposition under pressure. Even if we don't end up winning this game, I've already seen more positives in this first 20 minutes than I've seen in the last 5 or 6 games, because we're actually creating some chances. Westcar still, I think he might be done, but we've got Nixon on the bench, we've got Pennicat on the bench, we've got other options for strikers. If the system works but Westcar doesn't work within it, then Westcar's gone next year anyway. Although I think I tied him down to a new contract earlier in the year when he was scoring all those goals, so I might have to find a way to accommodate him. Oh, lower league budgets, eh? And now he's got a contract, I've got to keep him for a year. Don't plan too far in advance at this level. What was Yao doing there? He's lucky that he didn't even make contact with player or ball, so he's managed to stay on the pitch. Wood just misses completely, and luckily, because they've only got one up front, there was no one in there challenging Owens, was it, for the header? And that's a good finish. Oh, goodness me. I am very much running out. I don't want these videos every day to be me being really negative. But this is the hardest Football Manager has ever been for me. I was having so much fun during the beta when everyone else was getting sacked and really struggling. And I was like, I'm won the French league, you know, doing all right. And now I get down into the nitty-gritty of non-league. Wowzers, it's difficult this year. It is so difficult this year. And even on those occasions where we found a system that works for a little while, like with Alfreton earlier in the year, we were challenging for promotion earlier on in the season. We had a system that worked, but it just stopped working. And I've gone back to it many times since, and it still doesn't work. So we're having to try different things, and they're not working either. I am running out of ideas, and I know there's people making suggestions in the comments every day for what I need to be doing. I'm kind of, because it's non-league to legend and we've got the full-on realism mode, I'm trying not to just do what you lot tell me to do. I'm trying to figure it out for myself, but we are getting to the point where don't be surprised if tomorrow's episode is just a tactic one of you lot have given me in the comments, and we'll just pretend it never happened, because I've tried just about every combination of these players that I can think of. And what was Hurst doing there? I don't know how I can combine this bunch of players in a different way to produce a positive result. Because all those positives we had in the first half when we looked like we were putting them under pressure, that all seems to have just stopped now. And it's 2-0. And we're just not even threatening. I say that, actually that's not fair. We've had 2 clear-cut chances and 3 half chances. They've had 2 half chances and scored twice. So there are positives to take out of this system, but it's really difficult to think on the positives when we're on the back of a 10-game without a win run. Right, Nixon's coming into the team, Pennicat's coming into the team, and we don't really have anyone else who's going to make a difference. We're bringing Clibbins on at left back. So changing up the front 3. So if the system works and we're just not converting our chances, let's bring on different strikers, see if that makes a difference. Right, Clibbins to Pennicat to Platt. Let's have a goal here. Yao in space. He should have had a shot, really. Nixon does, and Nixon scores. Right, there you go. Talked about just change the personnel. Nixon gets a half chance and scores where Westcar had 2 clear-cut chances and didn't. Nixon's just earned himself a start in the next game, and that was a tidy little finish as well from Nixon. Okay, it was straight at the keeper and he messed it up a little bit, but still, we've got a potential route back into this game now. Oh, please let us back into this game. Let Nixon be the hero. Why doesn't Nixon play more often? He's the one man I signed for both teams, and he doesn't really get into either of them. There must have been a reason I keep signing him. But we're now not even getting a highlight. Oh, here we have a highlight. Right, Disley lumps it forward. That's good. That's what we want him to be doing. Disley again. Lump it again, sir. He does. Out to Nixon. Crosses first time for Pennicat, who has space to find Nixon again. And Nixon grabs his second and our equaliser. We've got a new hero, everybody. Jonathan Nixon. That's his name, isn't it? Jonathan Nixon is our new striker. This is... Forget Craig Westcar. He's done now. Nixon is our poacher. And this 4-3-3... looks, I mean, we've created 8 chances today, 2 clear cut, 6 half chances. We're still going to lose the game though, and I just why can't we? I mean, we are turning a little bit of a corner. Look at the chances we're creating, but we're just not getting any luck. Aye, aye, aye. Right, we're going to stick with this system for the rest of the season now. We're going 4-3-3, or at least until we stop creating 8 chances a game. Because I mean, I wonder if I'm just going to get sacked. Apologies for just making noises, but, you know, there's only so much you can say when 8 chances. Oh, Thorne's in. Oh, and it's back off the crossbar. It's 7 minutes after the 90th minute. And we're just not getting any luck fall our way at the moment. Sooner or later, we'll get some luck fall our way. And then we'll be all right. I just need to hope I don't get fired before that happens. Right, I haven't been fired. Are the board still happy? Should be performing slightly better. I agree. Hopefully the 4-3-3 is going to be our route to doing that. Hopefully there'll be another episode with Alfreton before we get fired. It'll be, if we manage to make it that far, it'll be the end of this first season. FC United in Chorley. Obviously, if it looks like we're going to get fired before then, we might be back a little bit sooner. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching.